The film isn't just about addiction, it's about guilt and self-loathing and trying to make amends and trying to make things right.
I don't know how to do this.
What?
Start all over.
I really wanted to honor all these things, grief and addiction and the struggles that we all go through to stay sane in a very hard world.
I need help.
There's something so intimate and powerful about watching something like this on the big screen and just letting those emotions wash over you.
These darkest times in my life that I've been dealt with grief, what has saved me is the human connection, is the friendships, is the family.
Well, I'm hugging you with my eyes.
Thank you.
Literally, we watched it, and my wife turned to me and she's like, I want Morgan Freeman to hug me with his eyes. I'm like, we all do. World peace would be achieved. Hey everybody, welcome to Cinema Therapy. My name's Alan Seawright. I'm a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. I'm joined as always by
Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies, and we have a very special guest.
a very special guest today, an actual, very professional filmmaker, Mr. Zach Braff.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We're here to talk about your incredible film.
This movie is out today. You can go see it anytime this weekend, and please do. The film is called A Good Person, and it is a good movie.
I would say it's a great movie. Can we call you Zach? Is that cool?
You can call me Zach, of course. What
we were
are your
worried.
other options?
I'm going to call you Mr. Braff.
No, please call me Zach. Don't call me Mr. Braff.
You'll speak to this clinically, but from a filmmaking standpoint, the cinematography is beautiful. The performances are, I don't want to blow smoke up your skirt. This is not hyperbole. A couple of the performances are transcendent. There are scenes that just blew me away. And the writing is so strong. I'm in awe, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's
That means
very
so
good.
much to me, especially coming from a fellow filmmaker. And I know you guys cover therapy and therapy related things and recovery. And, I really wanted to honor all these things, grief and addiction, and then find a way to do it with humor, because the way it's always occurred in my life has been that I'm always so grateful when there's a levity and a relief. And so I wanted just like in real life, I wanted the film to depict that, to have that aspect of it.
Well, and that's one of Alan's favorite things is laughter through tears, and there's a lot of that in this film. So what do you want our audience to know about the story to whet their appetites? Why should they go see this?
Well, I'll whet your appetite by saying it's the most exciting ingenue on the planet, I think. A young phenom named Florence Pugh going toe-to-toe with one of the greatest acting legends alive, Morgan Freeman. It's about a tragedy that occurs, a car accident, and how it affects the lives of these two families. And we watch them struggle to stand up after great loss and grief and tragedy. And it's also about being a human being and the struggles that we all go through to stay sane in a very hard world at times.
Well, let's dive in. We've got a clip. So the brief setup is Allison was in a car accident. She was driving, and the passengers who passed away were Morgan Freeman's daughter and son-in-law, who were about to be Allison's new sister and brother-in-law. And she has turned to painkillers from the accident, and then she's got addicted to opiates. And so now she's looking to get some help, and she wanders into his NA meeting and sees him, feels guilt, runs out, and here we go.
Yeah.
Allison, don't go.
This was a mistake.
No, it isn't. Trust me. I know how hard it is to get here. It's damn near impossible, and you did it. Don't run away now because of me.
There are thousands of meetings. I'll find another one.
Wow, yeah, but this one has the best snacks. No, you've made it this far, and I wouldn't.
I don't want to be here.
Nobody does.
So Zach, I want to geek out with you for an hour about lensing and camera moves and everything, but we'll focus for a minute.
I thought you were sober.
10 years. I kind of slacked off coming to regular meetings. And then lately, I realized I need the support.
Because of what happened?
No, it's...
Is the accident the reason why you came back?
No, I just feel that...
Daniel, am I the reason why you're back here?
Yes. Yes, of course. What the hell do you want me to say? I'm sorry.
No.
Look, I got 10 years. And lately, I've been feeling like I really really want a drink, this works.
Thank you. I'm gonna find somewhere else. There are thousands of these meetings.
Yeah, but somehow you found your way to this one. Now, isn't that something? Come
It's
on.
just such a beautiful human moment there.
Okay.
So Zach, something I want to praise you for when it comes to your direction and your screenwriting, I'm just a film buff. I don't know the filmmaking world, but I do know human emotion and human psychology. Is you have moments that would be schmaltzy in the hands of someone else, because so many films try and go for extending compassion to someone who has wronged you or someone you feel has hurt you or offering forgiveness, and it lands with a thud because it's not human, it's not real. The fact that he's sitting there trying to placate her and say, no, it's not because of you. Well, yes, of course it's because of you. What do you want me to say? This film threads the needle so well with harsh reality and blunt truths and hurt feelings and agonizing pain. So when you have these moments of hope, they feel really earned. And these moments of compassion feel earned because they're not one-dimensional. I mean, we see him extending compassion to a woman who he blames for the death of his children. But it's not just this grand Christian gesture or something, because later in the film, he's still wrestling. He hates her. He also has great compassion and empathy for her.
Yeah.
But there's a part of him that very much hates her. And it's so real. And her journey towards sobriety or through grief and through guilt, for every step she takes forward, she takes a step or two back. And it just feels so real to the actual journey. It's a message of hope, but it lands with authenticity to me because of that.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are making me feel so good, and especially coming from you guys, that means so much to me. Morgan is the character of Daniel. You know, a big part of AA is service, and he also happens to be a religious man. So he sees what he believes God wants him to do. He sees it as a test. He later says, I felt that God was giving me the ultimate test. What could be a bigger test than putting you in my meeting? Of all the meetings on earth, he puts you in my meeting. And here he's very kind and loving about it. But later we see just how much rage and anger and resentment he truly has towards her.
I could ask you a million questions just about this scene. What kind of dance did you do when you were able to get Mauro Fiore on your film?
Well, here's the thing. Mauro Fiore is, for those of your audience who don't know, he's an extraordinary cinematographer. I fell in love with him because he shot a lot of Antoine Fuqua's movies, which I thought were particularly beautiful. One is Training Day, which is just a cinematography masterpiece, and the other is a Jake Gyllenhaal film called Southpaw, which again, if you love cinematography, is a masterpiece. And then he's gone on to do huge movies. I mean, he shot the first Avatar. He won an Oscar for the first Avatar, actually, but he's shot a bunch of Marvel films. He's done enormous things. He actually came to us from Spider-Man, and I was very nervous because he was coming off a huge movie and I needed him to move fast. When you make these movies, you shoot them in 26 days. This scene is interesting in particular because it was written as an exterior scene outside of the church, but on this day it was raining very hard, so we have to quickly call an audible, and it was a blessing in disguise because these windows are so beautiful and the contrast of the lighting on the window side of their faces is really, really beautiful. And there's the cross on the wall, which really plays the character of God in the scene, especially for a man who's religious. God is present in this scene. So I love that this wooden cross on the wall is sort of looming over the scene.
Yeah.
So that wasn't production design, that was just found?
It was production design in a sense that we were in that church shooting. We meant to be exterior. And I said, we can't shoot exterior. Let's shoot in this beautiful foyer. And could you put up a cross there? That would be nice. That's about all. That's about all the design that was done.
But you get the sense from him that he feels that loving his enemy is part of his Christian duty. And so he does have compassion for her, but it's also like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And he puts his own pain on the back burner out of goodness towards her for as long as he can until he can't anymore.
Well, I think that his commitment to AA and his commitment to service, it all is in line with helping her. Even when he has a conversation later with his son, and his son's like, what the hell are you doing helping her? he says she's broken, she's lost, she needs help. And it isn't until later in the film that he finally admits the rage that he's holding down.
I don't know how to do this.
What?
Start all over. How do you do it?
Takes work.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
I'm not sure I have the will.
Just unreal how much we're getting from these two in every shot.
Yeah.
Were you just
What does amor fati mean?
sitting behind monitor just like squeeing the whole time?
So
This is-
the private.
This was the scene that
Think
really
I'm f***ed up.
is the whole movie to me, this diner scene.
Are you high right now?
No.
I was a cop for 40 years. I was an addict for 50. So I want to ask you again. Are you high right now?
Well, I broke a pill in half, so half.
Yes, I think you're up, Allison. Not half. All up.
Do you think I'll ever pull out of this? I mean, like, maybe one day I might be the kind of person that people want their granddaughter to hang out with.
I have no idea.
Me neither.
I was gonna say, why do you feel the scene is so important? But that's a bullshit question because you're the one who wrote the film. So let's rewind that. Why is this scene so important?
Well, you know, when I thought of this movie and I started writing this movie, that's the image I had. In fact, I had a concept artist draw that image of Morgan sitting across from Florence. So when it was finally realized, it was just unbelievable to me. Two people in pain who don't know how to say all that they want to say have the exact same shared trauma. And they both need each other. They're both grieving alone with no one to help them. And they both really, really, really need someone to understand them. And the only other person that's present that knows their exact pain perfectly is the other person. But they both have their guards up. Neither one of them has the courage to say, I need help, I'm alone, I'm so sad. And they're, of course, the different generations and different cultures. And to me, the diner scene is the movie in a nutshell.
They've both hurt people. The film isn't just about addiction, it's about guilt.
Yeah.
It's about guilt and self-loathing and trying to make amends and trying to make things right and stumbling and failing and that classic, you know, real life thing of when you're trying to make things better, you make them worse, you know? And I love this scene. This would have been a perfect moment in a more traditional film. This would have been a perfect moment for a rousing, inspirational speech from Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And instead, he's just real with her, you know?
Yeah.
And she actually appreciates the honesty. And that's one thing I love about the characters is whenever they lie, they're terrible about it. And they... like they're not good at it, and the blunt honesty. Something about the verisimilitude of the film for me is it's funny, but it's not. The audience is laughing and the characters aren't in on the joke. It's funny because the characters have senses of humor.
It's all earned character comedy. None of it is outside external comedy.
Yeah, I felt like I'm just watching two people who happen to be fairly quick-witted.
Yeah.
It's not Aaron Sorkin. I mean, we love Aaron Sorkin, but that's not real life. This feels like real conversations with people that I know.
Well, thank you. That's great because I of course, there's moments where, of course, it's a movie. There's moments where the dialogue's heightened a bit, but I really, really strive as a screenwriter to not make I mean, I love Aaron Sorkin more than anything, but that's a special skill that is an Aaron Sorkin piece. I really strive to not have it be so heightened that it doesn't feel realistic. And you know, there's a lot of I have a lot of funny people in my life. You know, the really inspiration for this comes from, you know, going through really, really challenging times in my own life, going through grief, experiencing tragic things. And you're so happy when someone makes a joke. There is such, you're like, thank God someone had the courage to make a joke in this ICU waiting room, so we can all have. It's like letting the steam out of a steam engine, so we can have a little bit of a release. And I think that both of these people are aware of that there is therapy, there is medicine in allowing themselves to laugh.
Yeah.
You know, adding to Jonathan's comments about the verisimilitude of how well you've done, you know, portraying characters in these situations. I haven't talked about it a lot on the show, but I am an addict and, you know, have been in recovery for a while, and I've been sober for several years, and that's really nice. But the hardest I've ever laughed was outside of a meeting.
That's what a friend of mine. That's what a friend of mine. You know, first of all, knowing that you're in recovery and that you love the movie so much, it makes me hold my heart. So thank you so much. But one of my
it felt like a warm hug, man. It felt like going home.
One of my friends who's been in the program for years, when I was getting early advice from him, he said, just don't make it all too serious. He goes, every time I see an AA meeting or AA depicted in movies, it's also serious. He said exactly what you said. He goes, some of the hardest laughs I've ever had in my life were in an AA meeting.
I mean, you've never heard crazier shit than you hear in an AA meeting, for one thing.
After we watched this, because we were in different states, we watched it separately, and we both got on. We said, "Did you love it?" Because I absolutely loved it.
Holy crap!
and our hope for this, for our fans and for everyone who's watching, is don't let this get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And don't wait to watch it at home. There's something really special. Lately, people are kind of saving.
You got to go see Avatar 2 in theaters,
You go see the big budget
right?
stuff at home, and everything else you watch at home. But there's something so intimate and powerful about watching something like this on the big screen and just letting those emotions wash over you.
There is something magical that I think is lost a little bit in the post-pandemic going to the theater world. The pin drop silence of a dramatic moment in a giant theater filled with people. There is something really, really powerful in those really emotional moments, hearing other people sniffle as you swipe your tear. And then, of course, there's the most magical thing when you get through that to a humorous moment and having a collective laugh together. And I just want people to remember, those who aren't still doing it, to not just go to the theater for these big spectacle films. This film is beautifully shot by a very A-list cinematographer, but it also is a very, very cathartic experience to see it with a group. I recommend it. I really do.
I bang this drum all the time. There's two reasons to go to the theater, and it's the shared theatrical experience, like that shared collective experience with a bunch of strangers all feeling the same thing at the same time. Like, when else do we do that in our lives?
Yes.
And the other one is the power of the close-up. Like, I don't care how big your TV is or how close you sit to it, Morgan Freeman's face, Florence Pugh's face, 30 feet high, 10-foot wide eyes. You cannot replicate that any other way. It is special.
You're really
brings
right.
you in.
And there's another thing that happens is that we have this social agreement. Most of us, some people don't, but we have the social agreement that we take 2 hours and put our phones away.
Yes.
Whereas at home, there's still this, pause it, let me check my thing, or honey, put that down. There is this magical thing that still happens in most movie theaters where we just give ourselves 2 hours to disappear into this world. And I think that really, especially with a emotional film like this, will take the audience to a really powerful place.
So she's just found out some troubling news.
Is something wrong?
I forgot I have a job interview, so I'm gonna go.
You sick?
Yeah,
Withdrawal?
I'm trying.
All right. Don't stop.
Okay.
Don't use.
Okay.
Don't stay home tonight. Do something.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You need a hug.
If I hug you, I'm gonna sob, so no.
Well, I can handle that.
No, I shouldn't. Not in front of Brian.
Okay. Well, I'm hugging you with my eyes.
Thank you.
Be careful.
I have to go, so I'll see you another time. Bye.
Okay, just goddamn it, dude. Like, At what point did you write "I'm hugging you with my eyes," and at what point did you know it was Morgan Freeman saying it? And what was that feeling like?
Because he just gave the world the greatest gift.
Literally, we watched it, and my wife turned to me and she's like, "I want Morgan Freeman to hug me with his eyes." I'm like, we all do. Literally, this is world peace would be achieved.
Well, I wrote that before I knew it was Morgan going to be saying it, and of course, Morgan saying it makes everything sound better, anything in the world sound better. But also just his performance. I mean, there's another example of two of the finest actors alive today. I truly believe that. Yeah. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased.
There's a TED Talk going around that has famously said that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection.
Yes.
And to me, like, when I watched this film, that's what I was thinking the entire time, of just how much we need connection, how much we need compassion, how much we need non-judgment, and how much we need forgiveness, not only from others, but for ourselves, from ourselves.
Yeah.
This film goes to some really, really dark places, Zach, and you've nailed a niche for me that is my favorite type of film, which is films that go to really dark places to let the light shine.
It's
through.
always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
That's the Jono movie,
well,
right?
But like, because if it's all light, or if the darkness feels kind of like meh, then it feels like
it feels unearned
Yeah.
or schmaltzy or yeah.
And the fact is, to be an actual optimist, you have to have realism in there. And in life, like, I'm a happy, optimistic person, but I know the shit that goes on in the world. I deal with it in my office all the time. I know how depraved and cruel people can be.
Yeah.
But that's why we need goodness and kindness.
Well, and like you said, connection. I mean, for me, these darkest times in my life that I've dealt with grief, or that I've had tragedy show up at my front door, what has saved me is the human connection, is the friendships, is the family, is the actual hug, not just the hug with someone's eyes. That's a huge part of the recovery community, of course, is community and support and service. And in terms of just surviving grief, I lost one of my best friends to COVID. He left behind a wife and a young child. And I watched the community of friends and family that we all have come and lift this woman up and support her and protect her and show up for her in such a moving and powerful way. And that's what I wanted to show in the film, that this woman doesn't have that. The only person really in her world that can offer that up is this man who she wronged. And so that's what makes it about a very unlikely friendship.
Speaking of she doesn't have a community, I loved your writing of her mother and how her mother is so caring and loving and just kind of horrible. And like,
she's very enabling, and she's got her own addiction issues.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And so you get the sense that before Allie had her trauma occur, she was probably rolling her eyes a lot at her mom, and now she's in her mother's care, quote unquote. Yeah. And her mother means well, but like so many parents,
yes,
she doesn't have the tool set.
Right.
All she wants is, she doesn't want harm to come to her child. So oftentimes that can fall into enabling, because the devil is better than the one you don't. Her having an oxy addiction, but at least she's home on the couch and safe, is better than her looking for it out on the black market in the streets. So that is a problem so many people, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, parents deal with is the enabling, because they don't know how to get themselves out of this maze. That's one of the things the film talks about as well.
I love movies that when they're done, I just want to be a better person, and then I just feel happy. And all of that is earned in this, It's such a shot of hope. Like, I don't want to go into hyperbole. I'm just being honest.
Thank you.
It's a dark, messed up world, and there's a lot of shit going on that's dragging all of us down. And this film addresses all of that head on and marinates in it, and then lets the light shine through. And to me, it is just wonderful. And so I know Alan feels the same way.
Well, and I find it true to life. The world is full of dark, ugly, horrible things, and good comes out of it a lot.
Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for.
Oh, Sam.
Well, thank you, guys. And it really means so much to me, especially coming from you, as people who not only know this world and this community, but also love movies. So it really, really means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Again, if you're watching this episode and you just love good movies, go see it, but especially if you're wrestling with addiction or guilt or grief or self-loathing or depression or anxiety or just the weight of life, right? Go see it. It's going to bring you some serious uplift.
I cannot say this strongly enough, and I completely mean it. Please go see A Good Person today. It's in movie theaters, only in theaters.
Get your tickets now at agoodpersonmovie.com.
So until next time, do you need a hug?
I'm hugging you with my eyes.
And watch movies.
Especially this one. Go see this movie.
Seriously, go see it this weekend, please. It's so good.
Thank you guys so much.